Thank you. Now we have Nimco has got the next question.
Good evening, Senator. My name is Nimco Ahmed. I am a community organizer, and I've actually have an extensive experience in political organizing, both in the state and also in the national level. I'm also a state director for the DFL, member of Take Action Minnesota, and also part of the reNEW Minnesota board. Let's just say I'm tired of losing, Senator, but let me make this clear to you. But I don't have any problem of losing this seat, but I have a problem knowing that we have the vote in our state to actually win the seat. So, and that's the reason why we actually formed the reNEW Minnesota campaign, and that's the reason why I actually joined. Because to convince that doing actually what we have been doing even bigger and better will not be enough even this time. So what makes your campaign different, or what is your campaign strategy so we can actually win in November next year?
Well, we got, I think, a group of great DFL candidates, people I respect, people I'm proud to call my friends. I mean, it's for you to, and other Minnesota voters to compare us and decide individually and collectively, who can best not only articulate the issues, because I think we are very similar in that respect, but who has a proven record of actually carrying them out. I think people want change. So I think they're going to look not only, as I say, at who has the rhetoric, but who has demonstrated that commitment. In terms of a proven vote-getting ability, I've received 3.9 million votes in Minnesota in the course of the elections I've run in, and that's vastly more than anybody else. I'm the only person, the DFL candidate, who's ever won a statewide election. But I'm not running on the past, I'm running on the future, and that's where the election should be and will be decided. So that's why I'm going to 87 counties in 87 days, and I'm going to bring the same message that I'm bringing here tonight that I've been bringing around the state previously, which is about the kind of fundamental change that I believe is essential. Because again, I think people care about whether this can be made a better Minnesota, which is the theme of my campaign. And that means making taxes progressive. And that means increasing dollars, real, after inflation dollars for public education. That means single-payer health care at the national level, which I strongly support, and which I'm going to do everything possible in Minnesota, starting with a public option and expanding that in every possible way to lead Minnesota to single-payer so that we can be, once again, the leader and the national model, as we were in years gone by, where people say, well, how's Minnesota doing it? Why are they doing it so much better in Minnesota than they've done it everywhere else? Expanding services to senior citizens and to the infirmed and people with disabilities. In providing for minority inclusion. Generating alternative energy as a way of creating jobs. I have proposed a revolving loan fund. It can be used to re-insulate buildings and to weatherize and then to convert to boiling systems and rewire electrical, starting with state buildings. And as those dollars are paid back, extending those to colleges and universities, as they're doing at University of Minnesota Morris already, to schools, local governments, transforming the public sector of Minnesota, and again, showcasing to the state and the nation what that kind of energy transformation can do to create new jobs, reduce energy costs, and as those dollars are recycled in the economy to create a truly green economy for the state. I'm going to lay out that agenda, and I think people will respond.
Yeah, I've got one more follow-up question for you. The last couple of elections, we've lost by just teeny tiny margins, and we have to do something different, and I don't think we can do anything without getting new people involved. What are your plans to attract, like, historically disenfranchised communities, first-time voters, Obama voters, independents, and even the disenchanted Republicans?
Well, again, I'm going to go everywhere and lay my platform forward. One of the reasons I'm so excited about reNEW Minnesota and what you're doing is that you have a broadly inclusive platform. And what I really like about reading your platform is you're talking about all of us. You're talking about expanding one big tent. Sam Rayburn once said, I'm a Democrat without prefix, without suffix, and without apology. And I think we're big tent Democrats. And we have enough room for everyone. And rather than the politics of subdivision, which is what concerns me about some of what's going on politically right now in the process, it's about expansion and inclusion. And again, I put myself forward as somebody who's run statewide, 7 statewide elections, primaries and generals. I've won 5 of those 7. I know how hard it is and awful it is to lose, and I don't intend to lose again. I also know how to win, and I've proven that as I did in 2000 when I didn't win by a teeny bit. I annihilated a U.S. Senator.
Thank you.
I might end up annihilating another one.
And so our final question asker is Bernie.
Hey, Bernie.
Senator. I'm Bernie Hess, been a member of the UFCW for 30 years now. The reNEW Minnesota vision is very big. It changes direction for the state. It's truly a different path to be explored. The reNEW vision calls out for restructuring on who holds power in the state, the role of government, and the essence of democracy. I'm excited about this. Quite frankly, I'm tired of the same old same. Politics that benefit a few at the expense of the rest of us. The vision of Minnesota will not be achieved overnight and will take years to accomplish. And we need to make some bold changes in the next 4 years. When and if you're elected governor, you're walking into a mess. What will you do to make sure you keep your eye on the reNEW Minnesota vision and not be derailed just to deal with the mess? And I'm very worried that whoever gets in that we share these principles with might have to park the reNEW bus, and we don't want that to happen.
Well, I've never parked my bus in 40 years. And I'm not going to stop whether I'm elected governor or not. This is a lifelong commitment on my part. And it's something I practice all the time, whether I'm in office or not. And it's something I'm committed to, helping other people get elected, become empowered, which I've done not just the years where I've run. I mean, I think you can ask anybody in terms of the DFL party who has been there consistently on behalf of candidates, on behalf of the party itself, whether I'm a candidate or not. I don't just show up when I want something. I show up all the time when people need something. And that's, again, as I said before, the really incredible role that a governor can play, which I would like a whole generation of you that have lived under the last 19 years under Republican administrations and this wrestler turned libertarian to have the chance to benefit from. That a governor makes thousands of appointments to the Board of Aging, to the Rural Finance Authority, to the Citizens Pollution Control Agency Board, I mean, just across the spectrum. And it's a way to involve all of you. I mean, I'm not going to park the bus. I'm going to invite all of you off the bus and into leading this state in this different direction. I mean, I don't just go around and whisper, let's raise taxes. I say it everywhere I go. I say it to chambers. I say it to everyone. Raise taxes on the wealthiest 10% of the people. I mean it. That's why members of my family, contribute to other candidates. And I'm going to do enough of it to make a difference. I mean, it bothers me, with all due respect, that the House and the Senate DFL caucuses proposed a lower level of funding for K-12 public education in this biennium than Governor Pawlenty did. And the House proposed a shift that was initially larger than the one he proposed. Now, how can you run for office saying, well, elect me, I'll do worse for education than Tim Pawlenty? So, I mean, I don't just say it, I mean it. And I'll do it. I give you my word. I'll stake my career on it. I'll stake my life. I'm putting everything I have on the line in this election. Because I want to make a difference for the rest of Minnesota. Because I don't want to be part of the first generation in our nation's history to leave our state and our nation, our world worse off to our children and grandchildren than we inherited. And that would be the verdict today, and I won't live with that verdict.